Hey, everybody, halftime at Golden One Center and a very good half for Sacramento. They lead 61 to 52. No Fred VanVleet for the Rockets for personal reasons, and the Rockets played last night. I thought the Kings' first half, particularly the second quarter, was really good. And I got to tell you, Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis, oh boy, they were just stellar.
Just terrific. Obviously,
Great.
that first half,
Yeah.
I mean, the Kings looked like a real serious playoff contender in that half. I don't know if they can play any better.
Jerry, just completely downhill, making the Rockets work on both ends. Ball moving on that side of the ball offensively. What do you like besides the pick and roll?
Well, I think the ball's moving good. Obviously, the hustle plays, getting some open threes, and then really both as Grant pointed out. I mean, obviously Domas and Monk are great, but DeRozan has really been able to break down the Houston defense pretty much any time he wants. And then Keegan Murray has become Keegan Murray again. Really, the only thing probably in the first half is De'Aaron Fox really hasn't been particularly outstanding. Not what you expect from Fox, but. Yeah, the bench solid. Trey Lyles, Keon Ellis, limited minutes, but very effective.
I'm nitpicking here. Would you like to see the Kings to get to the free throw line more, Jerry? Only 2 attempts in that first half.
Yeah, you would. I think both. It's one of those things for both teams. Kind of. The game has really been, I think, well officiated. Both teams are kind of looking to play on the perimeter a little bit and in transition. So there's not as many opportunities, but I think that'll happen, Grant. I think it's a good point, though. I mean, to win, you're going to have to get the line more. The same things, really. This Houston team needs to turn the Kings over to win. That's what they do well, and the Kings, if they take care of the ball and defensive rebound, they'll have a great chance to win this game.
Ryan, can Malik Monk play any better than he's playing right now, Rhino?
Yeah, I think there's a different level, but just from a sense of what we talked about yesterday, where the defense has to guard both him and Demonis, whether Malik's going to make that play or dish it off. And Jerry, the difference to me is Malik not making those silly turnovers at times that we saw last year and even at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, I think, just really getting comfortable as the starting point guard, which is really what he is. I think we've seen him mature. He's more confident. So he knows he's going to be out there 35 minutes and really not feeling like he has to force plays. And I think that's always important for a talented guy, because he knows if he plays the minutes, he gets the minutes, he'll have the stats, as we see.
During the show yesterday on the Kings Roundtable, we talked about how we felt the Kings were in a great position to win this game tonight due to the fact that the Rockets were playing last evening against Denver. And then you find out right before the game that Fred VanVleet's not playing as well. I mean, you got to really take advantage of this. And through the first 24 minutes, guys, the Kings are doing just that.
Really are. I mean, there's no doubt that VanVleet's, he's kind of a stabilizer for this offense.
Sure.
One of those veteran guys. But one thing about the Rockets, I mean, they've got a lot of depth, athletically. I mean, they're out Jabari Smith and VanVleet, but Tari Eason is back in there, and Amin Thompson. That guy's just going to he's got star potential, that guy.
Yeah, look, the Kings have only had 6 turnovers. The Rockets only 5 turnovers. Usually when the Kings create their pace, it's because they're turning teams over. They're not doing it tonight. They're creating their own pace. And Jerry Grant, they missed a lot of great opportunities from beyond the arc. You got to think some of those may start falling for the Kings.
Yeah, it's one of those things almost you kind of wish Sabonis would take more threes and some other guys take fewer, because, I mean,
Sure.
Be shooting about 47% for the year.
I really like the Kings' possessions. I thought at the end of the first quarter, it was probably the worst 90 seconds of the half. Fox took a really quick three, not a good shot. And then on the next possession, the Kings threw the ball out of bounds. And then they were left at the very last second of the quarter with a shot from Herter in the corner, which he was open and he missed it. But that was just not a good sequence for Sacramento. But other than that, I like the way they played. Ryan, you talked about taking care of the ball. As Jerry said, I don't know how much better the Kings can play than they just did, and that's why they have a 61-52 lead.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to nitpick. There's just been a couple little times where if they just push, and Doug might see this on the film, just a little bit harder to get out to that 3-point line to defend. Şengün's had a couple of those where Sabonis was in position to do that high five, giving guys 4-point plays. You just clean up those tiny things. This team's gassed in Houston, Jerry. You can get this team to roll over by the end of the third quarter.
Well, and you need to. I mean, you really need to start picking up, putting more ball pressure on those. Give them a chance to get tired, but keep the pace up, pick up the pressure, and take care of the ball. And more importantly, they're a great offensive rebounding team. So send 5 guys to the board. Don't expect Domas to do it all.
And we're not making an excuse here. The Denver to the West Coast is the worst back-to-back in the league, but it's worse going the other way, which is what the Kings are going to experience next week. They play Golden State, and then right after the game, they got to fly to Denver and play the Nuggets the next night, which starts their 6-game trip. That is just awful. That is the worst back-to-back in the league, but it's part of the deal. Again, you have to take advantage of it if you're the team at home, if you're the team that didn't play. And the Kings are doing that. So I think the Kings are going to win this game. I actually think they're going to score more than 61 in the second half because I think the Rockets are going to wilt without Van Vliet. No Jabari Smith, too, who broke his hand. We should point that out. I think the Kings will put 65 on the board here in the second half and roll. So I think they're going to have a 126 to about a 112 win.
I'm going to go 118, 112. Kings.
I'm going to say 117 to 106 Kings in this one.
Yeah. I think they're playing too well, and I think the Rockets, who, by the way, are an excellent road team, they're 13-6 on the road. I think they've won 7 in a row on the road, but this is not the same Rockets team without Van Vliet and without, obviously, Jabari Smith and playing last night. They're going to lose eventually, and I think that's going to be tonight. So we'll see. No excuses here. You cannot have the table set any better if you're Sacramento. Oh, and by the way, it's on national television, which doesn't hurt.
No, really, it's just a great half to be on TV. And I think the thing the Kings have to worry about is the Rockets will start getting out. They're going to make a real push here early in the third to try to get back in the game. And if the Kings can kind of make sure they don't lose any ground in these first 5 or 6 minutes, it could be very comfortable.
Yeah, communication, it sounds silly, but they're doubling Sabonis when his back's to the basket. So keep talking. That's where those turnovers can compound. And Grant, really quick, if you win this one, I know you got the brutal back-to-back to start the trip, but it's set up nice for the Kings. You don't play again till Sunday, and then you don't play again till Wednesday. So to be at game 41 tonight, it's a good spot to be.
It is. And you have the Wizards coming in who are horrible. And then you have the Warriors, who did win last night against Minnesota, but they're not the same team. We talked about this on the roundtable yesterday. This has got to be a 3-0 homestand, and it was predicated on tonight. Tonight's your most challenging game, and then you don't get Van Vliet. Now you have to win this game, but the next 2, you got to absolutely win before you hit the road for those 6 games. You just have to go 3-0 here.
Well, you absolutely do in the West because, I mean, you look at Phoenix, the Lakers, Clippers. I mean, it's right there for anybody to move up or move down. Like you said, the Warriors had a nice win on the road. Still, Minnesota's kind of finding their way. The only team that you don't worry about is Oklahoma City because nobody catches them. I mean, they are gone, boy.
20 points over Cleveland, Grant.
They're the real freaking deal at 34-6. They remind me of last year's Celtics team a little bit, to be honest with you. And I got to tell you, the fact that they're doing this without Chet Holmgren, who's out maybe for the rest of the year, and they got Hartenstein that came in when Holmgren went out, but the fact that they haven't missed a beat without Holmgren, to me, tells you 2 things. This team is really, really good, and their future is set up so beautifully. Like the Oklahoma City aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They are going to be, I hate to use the word dynasty because you got to win a couple first, but they have the potential, in my opinion, to be that type of a franchise because they also still have a lot of collateral in their pocket to use in drafts and everything. They have a great, not a good, they have a great general manager. Let me tell you something. This Thunder team could be the next Golden State Warriors. They really could.
Oh, absolutely could. They played tonight without Hartenstein too.
Yeah.
I do think they're saying that they think Holmgren could be back after the All-Star break. So
I read that too.
yeah,
That would be remarkable.
So when Caruso he'd been out, he played tonight. They got as you said, Sam Presti's the best. He's the absolute best, and he's done it, in a small market with small pockets.
Yep.
From the owners, and it's just
Yep.
a remarkable job. But they are real contenders.
Guys, they're in a position with the collateral that Grant's talking about. If they wanted to add another piece, both where they're at with the salary cap and also the first round picks, they could theoretically. So
Yeah.
scary stuff. They're so good.
Yeah.
All right. So again, the Kings are in a really good position here, but there's 24 minutes left. I'm with Jerry. I think the Rockets, we're going to find out in the first 5 minutes here of the third quarter whether they're going to be in this game or not. But again, good things going on, 61-52. Rhino, we will be back at the end of the game. We invite your phone calls, everybody. And Jerry, so I want to leave you with this. What do you think is the number one key for the Kings here in the third and fourth quarter?
Take care of the ball.
Okay.
Assist to turnover ratio, keep it good, and you can win. I mean, that's going to be the key.
All right, guys. Appreciate you, and to everyone else, enjoy the second half. We'll be on right after the game. Bye-bye.
See you guys.